Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Josh Hose Show. I'm your host Dave Sheets, and with me is the head coach of the Massillon Tigers, Josh Hose. We want to thank our season-long sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Always good to be here.
Josh, your Tigers have now completed the regular season, finishing with a 13-9 mark. Considering that your team started the season 5-6, but finished it off winning 8 out of 11, how would you describe your thoughts on that final record?
I think we're really proud of it. I'm proud of this team because we've gone through a lot of changes, since the start of the year, with whether it was lineup or just roster changes. It takes us a while to get kind of figure things out, getting some guys in late out after the football season. So, we knew, the beginning of the year was kind of a month of, it seemed like up to the first of the year, we're still trying to figure things out, rotation-wise, et cetera. So, getting into the first of the year, kind of around that time that you talked about, we started getting on that run, that last 11 games. It's been a fun ride. I mean, to see the guys developing. So we're real proud of the guys sticking together through some tough ones early. We kept saying, there's like 3 or 4 games, man, a couple plays go differently. We're right in that game, one possession game at the end of with 2 minutes left. You get through those hard times and start to see the benefits of those and the what's it called, the fruits of your labor type thing. As the season ended out, and we started learning how to close out games and win games at the end.
Let's discuss the 2 games from this past week. Last Tuesday, you lost at home to a good Louisville team by 6. Tell us more about that game.
Oh, man. Great game. Overall, we had a great start to the game. Really boiled down to we had about a 3-minute span where they went on a run. And we got cold, and I was just talking to Coach Siegfried about this at our coaches meeting the other day. It's like everything that they threw up went in, and everything we put up did not. And just really, but they're a really talented team and really explosive. I think they scored 106 in a game earlier this month, and so we knew we had to play well. And I was really, like I said, impressed with our kids. Just the effort in there, and we got down. I think we ended up getting down 13 or 14 points and cut all the way back to 4. It was about a minute left. And had some opportunities there, but just a really well played game overall. We got off to a hot start and had a little bit of a lead there. I think it's a game of runs. We got 10-0 to start, and then they came back, and then we made a little run, and they made that big run. Is really the difference there. They put I think it was 18-2 right towards the end of the third quarter. Eli dunked one, and we went up 3. And then, they made this big rush, and we knew it was coming. We just couldn't, like I said, we had good looks. We just didn't knock a couple shots down, a couple shots at the hoop that we usually knock in, didn't go in for us. So, but really, really well contested game. I kind of looking at that, told our guys between them, playing them and Glen Oak, we know we can play with pretty much anybody in the Northeast Ohio. We've proven that, and so that was kind of a confidence builder in that fact that we were able to put such a good effort out there against the Leopards.
Then last Friday, your team won a shootout over Akron Firestone. Now, that game was part of senior night. Tell us more about your thoughts about your seniors, and then tell us more about the game itself.
Sure. Our senior class has been awesome. This is one of the classes that, it's been my 5th year, so I knew them as 8th graders when I was at the middle school. That first year, got to know guys like Calix and Drew, Eli and Gabe and Dylan, our manager. Got to know them really well over the years and being in the program and putting the time in and away from the court and all that stuff. So special night. Those are always tough nights because it's busy. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of distraction. But it was really a cool night to see all those guys get to start and play together and then finish the game on the court together. And we even got Dylan in the game at the end there with 11 seconds left, and that was a special moment for the crowd to react and the guys. The way his teammates were excited for him was really unique and special. So we were excited for that, and then be able to get a win over a team that was dangerous because they got a kid that started playing about 8-10 games ago. It was averaging 25 a game. That was not on this. When I saw them live a couple weeks ago, he was not playing for them. And so they played, I think, Green to a 3-point game on Tuesday. It was a back and forth game right at the end there. And their coach said, hey, good luck. He's the best player we've played all year. And Green plays a really good schedule. So, you just knew going into it that it was going to be tough. I think he ended up with 39. He was just on fire in the second half. And so, that's a game we got up 17 at one point, and I felt like we just talked about it yesterday. We probably should close that one out, winning by 15 or so. We didn't do the right things at the end there. Maybe got a little loose with our shot selection, and gave them an opportunity to get back into it. And if the kid like that, when he's shooting it and playing that way, he can get 8-10 points in a blink of an eye. So, but yeah, we got the win. Closed out senior night the right way, and honored our seniors in a really cool way.
Now, on Wednesday, your team plays their first tournament game, and we'll talk more about that in our last segment. But as you prepare for the game, did you change up your practice routine or any of your preparation at all?
No, we took a couple days off. We after the game on Friday, we took Saturday and Sunday off. Long season, got some guys had some shin splints and some sore backs and knees and just little things like that. So a couple days of rest was definitely needed, and not playing until Wednesday gave us an extra day of prep. Playing a team we already know helps, that we played earlier in the month, so or I should say last month. But yeah, we took a couple days off, and then we got back in yesterday. Put some work in, but they're going to change a little bit what they do. We practiced some zone stuff yesterday. They've shown that in the last couple weeks here. They're a team that's got a lot of length. They're 6'7", 6'6". 6'4", I think they have another 6'6" kid that comes off the bench, and so we got to be better against their size, rebounding the ball and some, pressuring them and making them play full court, because if you get in the half court, they're really talented. And they got a really good guard that had 30 against us last time. So preparation-wise, we didn't change anything. We just kind of worked on some of the things that we do and then adapted a couple things to, we haven't seen much zone the last couple weeks, so we just kind of polished up on some things we haven't had a chance to really look at or rep in game. So we're going to work that today and tomorrow and get ready for Wednesday.
In a moment, we'll meet a Tiger player, but first this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thanks to Reliable Heating and Cooling, and welcome back to the Josh Ho Show. Our Tiger player joining us this week is senior guard Calix Collins. Calix, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Folks who are watching at home, Calix is in our media class, and he's used to sitting in this chair, so the roles have been reversed a little bit.
It's kind of weird, but go with it.
All right, so Calix, tell us, how old were you when you first learned the game of basketball, and do you remember who taught it to you?
So my mom played college basketball, so I kind of grew up with basketball, but she definitely taught it to me, and I used to wrestle, actually. I didn't start out just straight playing basketball, so around third grade, I really started playing organized basketball, but my mom, for sure.
Now, what are some of the things that you worked on in the off season to improve your game?
Definitely my defense. Off season was kind of weird this year, because it felt like last year we had a lot more time, but this year is definitely defense.
Did you set any personal goals for yourself coming into your senior year?
No, obviously I want to win districts, and I want to go far in the playoffs, but not any personal goals. It was more of team goals.
As a guy who comes off the bench for this team, how do you prepare yourself mentally, and what are you watching for specifically as the game unfolds?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. I don't really mentally prepare myself. I just go out and play, because I feel like if I mentally prepare myself, I'm not ready to fail, and if I fail, I'm gonna upset myself. So I try and stay away from that. I try and stay loose, and as the game unfolds, I honestly I watch. I see who the prominent guys are, and then go out and play.
And finally, last Friday was senior night. What did that recognition mean to you personally?
I think it was pretty cool because, I did it for football, but basketball has always been one I'm waiting on. Like, that's something I've always dreamed of is senior night, so.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Coach Hose will rejoin the show when we return after this timeout.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
Welcome back to the Josh Hose Show. Coach, we just spoke with senior guard Calix Collins in our last segment. Tell us more about Calix and how he has impacted this team.
All right, yeah, Calix is, he was talking a little bit about, off-season work and whatnot. And Calix, I always respected the fact that he made a point of getting in the gym after football workouts. And definitely they had a lot going on with football. And he was coming to stuff. And I know like the one day we went to Cedar Point, over the summer. And, he drove all the way up there, his family, and, came up, he played, and then left and went home that night because they had Ohio State camp the next day. So, just that, I think, set a tone with some of our our football guys or our multi-sport guys that you can make these things happen. You can get to, these other events and play both and commit to both in the off season. So I can't say enough about how that, how that's impacted, our program in a positive way. Calix plays with a ton of energy. He plays with a ton of toughness. I know last year he fought back from an injury early in the season and he got back probably 2-3 weeks before we thought he would be back. A shoulder injury that he had suffered during football. So, that toughness piece there is definitely, it's evident. So, just a talented kid and a great kid away from the court. Obviously you see what he does here in the TV production thing. He has a bright future and going to Cleveland State for television or, film, I guess is the term there. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with that because I think he has a definite talent for that and that creative eye. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does moving away from basketball, Massillon, Washington High School. I think he's going to have a bright future.
So now we head into the second season as the Voice Tournament gets underway. Your team is home against Hudson on Wednesday night. Game time is at 7 in the Tiger Gym. Your team beat Hudson at their place in overtime back on January 21st. What do you remember most about that first meeting, and how does that impact what's going to go on tomorrow night?
What I remember from that first meeting is that I'd watched them the night before, and then they played Twinsburg, a league game on Friday night, and I went and watched that, and then Saturday we went and played them, and they shot the ball much better against us than they did Friday night, which seems to happen sometimes, but their one, I can't even pronounce his name, number 2 for them to guard, it's a really long name, and he had a great game against us. I think 5 threes by halftime, 30 points overall, and I think when I scouted him the night before, he didn't even shoot outside. So, he's been on a tear lately, so we got to do a good job with him. I remember we were down, 10 at halftime, 10 at the end of the third quarter. You chip away at it, we just could never get closer than that. It seemed like we'd get down to 5, and they blow it back out to 10. But come the last couple minutes of the game, we got to 5, and and we were just right there. And I think our resiliency in that game was really impressive. The guys making plays, and Drew had a big three. I know Jadis had a big steal late in the game. Eli made some big plays. It was just kind of everybody contributing, doing different things. Chris Knight had a huge night up there. I think he had 28 points, and just it was one of his breakout games. So I think it's just it was really fun to see our guys figure out a way to come back and win a game we probably didn't deserve to win or probably shouldn't have won. It's kind of one of those aha moments we talked about earlier, where it's early in the year we were there and we just couldn't close it out, and later in the year we figured a way out to win that game. So I think it's going to be interesting to see going forward who makes the adjustments and what's there. This time of year you kind of do what you do, and it's always tough to play a team a second time because you know them, but then it's been a couple weeks and some things have changed. So I feel like we're a better team than we were mid-January when we played them, and I'm sure they are feeling the same way. So it should be a good game on Wednesday night.
So as the head coach, how do you and your staff mentally prepare a team for tournament play, knowing that it's now like a one-and-done situation?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think you value possessions. You stress that to them. Foul line's very important. And guy used to train our teams. From West Virginia, used to say you can't win close games if you don't if you don't make close shots. And I think those are the foul shots, your layups, some of that stuff. So you got to make those. You got to make those plays. You got to finish. You always talk about finishing. Around the hoop and all that. So I think those are important. Defenses, one thing that we talked about, we scored 92 points the other day, but we gave up 88. So we were kind of talking about just some of the defensive end of the floor. We can't give up easy ones. They were scoring some easy baskets on Friday night that we wanted to, kind of get rid of that. We can't trade baskets with teams because, especially tournament time, I feel like teams play a little tighter. Possessions are a little bit, more of a premium, and so you can't give up an uncontested layup or get beat off the dribble easily and say, okay, we'll get it back on the offensive end. We got to be really stingy on the defensive end because it is a one and done situation, and team gets up and everybody feels that tension because it's you're not guaranteed tomorrow or the next game. So I think with our young team here, hopefully they play loose and they continue to do what they're doing, and our older guys lead them through that, have been through that fire and been through some of those tough environments before.
So you and your team are not allowed to look ahead, but on the show we are, for our fans' sake, as far as promoting, should we win and beat Hudson on Wednesday night, when would be your next game?
The next game would be at Hoban High School on Saturday.
Okay.
I think at 7 o'clock. So, okay. Yeah. And then, we're in the Twinsburg district. We just found out after we drew, the winner of that goes on and plays in the Twinsburg district final, or district semis, I should say, at Twinsburg High School. So it's different the way they're doing it now at the super districts. We didn't find out till after the draw, which one we were in. It could have been Euclid, Twinsburg, or Alliance. So we get there, that's a good thing. We'll be excited to get there, and whoever we got to play. I think the bottom half of our bracket is, no, it's not Alliance. It's Glen Oak, Lake, and Austintown Fitch. So we have familiarity with all three of those teams, and having played all of them this year. So that's one of the enticements of when we jumped into the bracket we did. That bottom half, we know all those teams. But we knew wherever we went at that time, I think you and I talked about this last week, wherever we went was going to be a tough second round game because you're talking Menor, Jackson, or Hoban. And so, pick your poison. So we went with the Hoban line. They're very good. If we get to play them, that's a great thing because we beat Hudson. And we'll get ready for them and do our best against the Knights.
And there's a little bit of history between Hoban and Massillon, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
In basketball or football? I don't know. Well, thanks for your time and good luck.
For sure.
All right. And that's going to do it for another edition of the Josh Ho Show. We want to thank our sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling of Massillon. And thanks to Josh and senior guard Calix Collins for joining us on the program. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching. And as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Around here, we like to cheer for the local team, and MCTV is here to connect you to the game. MCTV provides reliable high-speed internet and Wi-Fi. From checking scores online, to streaming games or watching replays, or even playing the game yourself, we've got the speed you need. Call today to add or upgrade internet service. We're connecting what matters most. MCTV. We go the extra smile.